see which microphone. All right, Henry McClure Live. This is a debriefing after the Greater Topeka Partnerships Candidate Forum, and everybody was very friendly. Now, I had to leave early because I had to come home or back to the office to make a deal. But I don't give myself high marks for today's performance. 45 seconds really isn't enough time. Some of the questions were confusing. I don't know. Part of me doesn't care because I think the chamber has their guy. Maybe not. If I could have changed somebody's mind, that'd be great. But I'm for making sure that all the NGOs don't get tax dollars today. But it was fun seeing everybody. Spencer was a little guarded, and Tuck was there, and he didn't pass him any notes. But the closing argument was, for me, hey, you shouldn't elect any incumbent. They're hotel buyers. And everything to do with the hotel ought to be transparent. We own the hotel. We paid the taxes. The city government doesn't have any business in being in business. They don't have any business buying hotels, and they don't have any business putting the NGOs in business. It will just be a perpetual machine. It's a way to cycle money. It's just like USAID, baby. USAID. So, it was so hot in that room, too. But I asked them to turn it down, and they did. And our host, she's adorable. She's such a nice person. And it was fun. I was glad to do it. We missed Chad Fay. Gabriel did a good job. James was there. It would have been fun. I wish I'd have had time to listen in on the District 1. You know, I know Will Nager from what he used to be my neighbor across the street. And I like Tyler. He's done a good job. You know, really deep down, Karen Hiller's a nice lady. And if she would just every once in a while not take it anymore. Sometimes she doesn't have to be nice. Sometimes you got to make tough decisions and stand on your own. And I had sympathy for her the other day in one of her things where everybody was just kind of going to dismiss her. And I didn't like that. I guess I am for the underdog. And today the underdog in Shawnee County are the taxpayers. But I did enjoy the show with Carol earlier about this health stuff because it really dovetails in with this Dr. Gundry that I've become a disciple of. She brought me some of this collagen, and I'm really interested in this. I'm going to have to pay her for this. So these is liquid collagen. And the whole thing about this Life Advantage is that it's to activate your system. And this is me just on the fly, not knowing really anything about anything yet. But I loved this Axios drink, AXIO, and I've been taking these pills for a couple of months, and it's got turmeric in it, and I don't know if in detail, but I was putting too much turmeric in my morning drink and developed a kidney stone and passed that quickly. But let's see how this collagen tastes. Doesn't taste bad. It's a little tart. But here's the thing. Oh, shake well. Well, maybe I did. Here's the thing. I think really the only way to, you're going to have to outlive the Topeka politics. I think we've hit rock bottom by giving Cody Foster $9.5 million and AIM strategies and whoever's in that LLC. It could be anybody. And the hotel. And Wolf's Camera. There's $1 million. These people, if they had to come up with $1 million themselves, and if they had to get a return on the $1 million, in our world, we can't just do things. You can't not get a return and keep clients. You can't fail and keep good clients. Literally at lunch today, and I'm not going to mention the other fellow's name, but I said, from the day and I'm taking credit for every Macerich deal I did, because if we went back to the portfolio of Macerich, there are probably tenants that I did deals with while I was there for 13 years that are still in business. There's got to be one or two. But I said, okay, who made you more money over the years? Me or this other guy? I won the bet today, and that's fun. Because guys like Dana, they got the capital, and if it makes sense, and you're going to get a return on investment, and it will stand on its own. One thing that I disagreed with is the land bank and the trust. The last thing we need is the city council having a land bank. The last thing we need, it's functional in so much as it helps transfer deeds, but it's probably going to be, it's who your last name is. And I bet if I went there and said, I want that lot and I'm going to build on it tomorrow, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go build. They said, how are you going to help small businesses? Well, I could give an internship, which I could. If I could get somebody to come in and help scan some of my Shawnee County Doge and some leases and some stuff, I could create an internship today for McClure Real Estate, literally. And but I said the best thing I can do is do my job. In fact, it was cool today. I'm going to help an entrepreneur get in business. And that's what I do. And that's why I'm better at economic development than them all. That's all I've done my whole life. But it's not been on the government dole. Larry Farmer was on my show the other day, and thank you, Larry. What was really cool was when the light bulb went off in his head, this room got very light about, you're dealing with the government on the other side, the NGOs. Imagine being a salesperson that you're going to get paid no matter what. Now that was, I had that benefit at Macerich, but trust me, if I didn't perform, they would have never let me spend all the money I spent on my expense account if I wasn't making bank. Bank.com, baby. Dr. Dunk. But then we started earning bonuses, and then I started doing side deals in California. That was fun. And then I thought shopping on the internet was going to be popular, and I wasn't smart enough just to keep my day job and do this as a side gig, a side hustle. But hey, some days you got to go all in. All right, so I'm going to go all in on this liquid collagen. Dr. Gundry has said a lot about liquid collagen. In fact, she's got a supplement. I want to read about it, because I've been a real fan of Dr. Gundry for a long time, because it's all about healing the microbiome and not damaging your microbiome. And if you think about this, if you haven't heard this from me, think about it. From your mouth to your anus, if you filleted yourself, it's as big as a tennis court, but it's only 1 cell thick. And what happens is the lectins bust that cell, that lining, and that's what makes you sick. Introduction and background. What is blue line health? How did you come to be? These are all the questions I didn't answer. Ask her. But I'd like to have her back on the show. And John Cantrell, he's a paid employee for a company. So we're gonna try another one of her drinks. You know, so today I got into the 5th day. So I got 4.5 days literally of my fast. And my health consultants say really 5 days is when you want to taper back to eating something. So today I had a piece of salmon. Man, I went to the Blue Moose today and the food was off the hook. As Bianca would say, bomb.com. But they had this artichoke soup, put a little black pepper on it. In fact, I might go out to the Blue Moose and get a bowl of that. That was so good. But today, you know, I had to take Dana Kay to lunch because I tricked him into coming over by saying I'd buy lunch. This thing's purple. Boy, that smells good. So, hey, look at this. I think you could use this thing as a swizzle stick. Oh, it's foaming. Uh-oh. That cream and tartar foams up too when I take that. But, so we were looking today at 37th and Gage, and I've got just so much dirt there that I got to move. And so what I think I'll do for the Orthodox Church, we're going to put them down, if they elect to take it, I'll put them down on the south side and maybe go from the front of Gage all the way back with the right across from the entrance that's existing. And then I've got another prospect that I'm working on with a 10,000-foot building. If I can get these two deals to coagulate, I got 37th and Gage licked. Because then I can knock the hill down, I can grade it out, and it will show so much better with the dirt work done. Wow, I really need to stir that up. What do I got to stir it up? Well, we're going to start seeing how her products measure up against Dr. Gundry's. Maybe Gundry's going to have some competition. Also, excuse me, at home I have a little whisk. It's just this big, but a little whisk. And it digs up all the powder really good. Also, back in the kitchen, I have a spoon that's got holes in it, you know what I mean? So you can strain. What I was thinking about today, enjoying my lunch with Dana Kay, was how much time do we just spend